As the presidential election draws ever closer, Hollywood is also in the spotlight as people wonder who will endorse whom. But you can't always believe what you see and hear. Elton John and Will Smith, for example, have been victim of AI-generated fake endorsements that then get circulated on social media. One of the most well-known instances of this happening to a major celebrity, Taylor Swift. These AI-generated images of Swifties for Trump were all over social media and even reposted by the former president, Donald Trump himself, on his Truth Social platform. And then, to get even weirder here, Swift mentioned the fake endorsements during her real endorsement of Vice President Kamala Harris. So all of this raises the question, how can you tell which posts are real and which are imposters? Claire Leibowitz with the partnership on AI is here to share some of the tips on how to spot fakes. Claire.
Thanks for having me. So first, these are tips today. These may change in a month as the technology gets more sophisticated. But there are three main things you can look for. One are the details. Look for airbrushing or if there's smudging or things that defy the laws of physics in an image. A second are visual inconsistencies. So you may see a t-shirt or some lettering that looks kind of strange. And I say it's kind of this smell test that you have to use. Does it look kind of odd, or too perfect?
Yeah.
And the last is to think about what we always think about with media, which is context. Who's sharing it? Do I know this celebrity? Do they typically make political endorsements? Can I use something called reverse image search to see if there's actually an original image that looks just like this, or it's just being shared on social media? So right now, a lot of people talk also about an extra finger, or again, another visual inconsistency. These are tells, but this may change in a bit.
So you would use reverse image search to maybe find something, the original image that was then altered.
Yeah, or find a match of that exact image and see that it's maybe only been shared on social media, but not from, let's say, the Associated Press or an original image source that would actually post an authentic image.
But what you're saying is really interesting about how this could change, because on the one hand, you're saying there's a kind of smell test where people can just sort of sense there's an uncanny effect where it doesn't seem like real to me, but you're saying that might go away.
Yeah, and even I fall for some of these images. Years ago, there was the Pope in a puffy jacket, a white, big, puffy, marshmallow-like coat, and I thought that was real. He could be a chic Vatican, is it close to Rome, Pope?
Yeah.
And there weren't a ton of signs, and we needed to rely on technical experts to look for inconsistencies. So this is getting harder, and we're going to need journalists and other experts to really be helping us authenticate content.
Okay, so you came with some images that we can use to test ourselves and our ability to see whether or not an image is fake or real. So the first one you have, I think, is Elton John.
Yeah.
And
no
Tony,
pressure.
Are you going to look at this one, or I'm going to look at this one?
I'm looking at. All right. So what are the giveaways? I mean, I think the first giveaway would be I do not know Elton John to be a big endorser of political candidates, and certainly not in such lavish fashion as this MAGA embroidered jacket. Are there other
look
tells?
pretty good to me, though.
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh wait,
What about the A?
The A is off of the lapel. The A is too far to the right.
I guess.
Is there something that is
What's wrong with the eyes? Why are we
wrong with the glasses?
His glasses are a little
Too smushed.
too condensed. See, the nose bridge is a little tight. Also, Elton John
know,
looks a little
Claire.
young. I know,
know.
these are really minute, but actually the background was airbrushed. You saw a lot of the
okay.
people looked blurred out, which is one of the telltale signs.
But if I wanted to believe it, I would say, oh, it's just sort of a filter effect where you blur the background, and Elton John is known for wild and crazy glasses.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
And I think a week before this image was posted, he was talking about, I think he said something complimentary or kind of neutral about Donald Trump. So people put this timed with a real statement, which is really interesting that this came on the heels of that.
All right, there's another photo of Taylor Swift. Let's look at that one.
Okay.
The two Fs are not the same.
It also looks like a gathering of one family of women with blonde hair. I mean, it's like
Same hair.
Yeah.
And something looks odd about the cup in her left hand.
Yeah, fingers, hands.
Yeah, something's a little weird with that. But this is pretty convincing. Even the way that the letters kind of like fold over her body looks very realistic.
And t-shirt iconography is a very common image manipulation technique. Even before AI, people can put letters on a blank t-shirt.
Yeah.
And this is an extension of that existing problem. But as you can see, it's really realistic.
There are also these apps that can create AI-generated images of people, even people without clothes on, and like all sorts of things. The technology has gotten really scary.
So I want to say people have a lot to do. They can look out for these signals we talked about, but also we should expect tech companies to do more, to bake in signals that can maybe say that this material has been made with AI. That will give people a cue to at least know that something came from one of those companies. We also need better transparency from creators. And a bad actor is not going to use that, but they need to say this was created with AI and create this culture. And rely on journalists and sources and really think about context when you're looking at images.
Yeah, if you see an image and it gives you a big, strong feeling in one direction or another, you might want to take a beat. Just
Yeah.
look for a second source on it.
Claire, thank you so much.
Thank
Yeah, I
you
really
for having
appreciate
me.
it. Come by soon.
Thanks.
It's not going away as an issue.